Imagine with me, the universe shrunk down into 3 pounds. The Milky Way, and inside our skulls. It is a highly structured organization, running its own script, programmed by the great programmer himself and edited by the things that happen around it. The brain. Around 86 billion neurons reside in our brains. And about the same number of stars are in our Milky Way. But sadly, the brain is not infallible. And one glitch that darkens the Milky Way is Parkinson's disease. Has anyone heard of Parkinson's disease? Okay. Does anyone know the cause of Parkinson's disease? Well, actually, scientists can't really say also, but they speculate that it is caused by a malfunctioning of neurons in the brain that produces dopamine. This malfunctioning of neurons produces some of the symptoms, including uncontrollable movement like shaking, stiffness, and problems with coordination and balance. My grandfather has Parkinson's disease. And I remember the first time the symptoms really scaring me was when we were out strolling by ourselves. We were walking down this slope, and I suddenly heard a rush of footsteps behind me. I whipped around just in time to see him fall. He fell with a whoop and bumped his head on the ground. Thank goodness it wasn't the stairs of a mountain we used to climb. Soon after, the symptoms began to become worse and more often. It started with something simple: shaking hands, dropping pills, and troubles with articulating. He would sit on the sofa all day long, without moving, as those came hard to him. It always disturbed me to look at him, sitting there, his eyes seemingly soulless black pits, recollecting his past. Whenever he tried to get up, one of us would have to help him up. And whenever he went to sleep, my mother would have to push him over and cover him with his blanket. A stark contrast to his days as a soldier. But fortunately, there is a means of alleviating the symptoms called the deep brain stimulation, or the DBS. During the surgery, the doctor inserts 2 metal rods into your brain to simulate abnormal electric activity. The DBS greatly improved my grandparents' lives. My grandpa could walk again, but not with the ease nor the speed of a normal old person. His speech became understandable, and his poker face, resulting from stiffness of muscles, disappeared, and he could smile a genuine, happy smile. However, the DBS is not a cure, and the DBS-treated patient's symptoms degenerate eventually. And now, my grandpa's poker face, trouble with articulation, and easy falls return. With almost 60 years of research, scientists still have not found the cure or the cause of Parkinson's disease. But there is a way. Scientists are now using a brain bank to study donated brains. One single donated brain is enough to run hundreds of tests, and scientists value this donation greatly. But how many people has Parkinson's, to say? Around more than 10 million people worldwide has Parkinson's. And the Parkinson Foundation estimates that in the US alone, 90,000 people are diagnosed with Parkinson's disease each year. it is estimated that in China there are 146 cases per 100,000 people, one in 600 to 700 people, and in Hangzhou, that is an estimated 12,000 people, enough to fill a whole tennis stadium. But Parkinson's disease is not the only neurological degenerative disorder. There are other disorders like Parkinson's disease. Some of the most known are Alzheimer's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and Huntington's disease. These count as dementia or abnormal loss of brain functions. But what is the impact of these neurological degenerative disorders? One in 3 adults aged 85 or older has Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in adults in America and 5th leading cause of death of those aged 65 or older. In 2020, the cost of treating patients totaled at $305 billion, and in 2050, it is projected to rise to $1.1 trillion. The average cost of dementia in the patient's last 5 years of life is around $300,000, which is significantly higher than those of heart disease, cancer, or other causes. However, Parkinson's disease and dementia do not only impact people monetarily, they also impact patients and patients' families emotionally. Often, I have heard my grandmother calling my mother, telling her how hard it is to take care of my grandpa, breaking down and lamenting her life. I'm better. The World Health Organization agrees that informal carers, most commonly friends and family members, spend many hours daily providing care for these patients. And the emotional, physical, and financial stresses are very high. Now, you are the few people who know of the struggle of these patients and their families. I hope that from this day on, their plight no longer goes on unknown and unseen. If you have time, visit your family and elders. They love you and will be happy to see you. If you're interested in biology, research the brain. You may be the next scientist to make a breakthrough. There are many brain banks around the globe, and I urge you to research about them. One of the priceless gifts we can give to future generations is the Milky Way inside our skull. In the end, I wish to leave you with one quote. It is a Greek proverb. The society grows great when the old man plants trees under whose shade they will never sit. Thank you.